Hey! It's us, the normies, back to do a Game of Thrones look back. It's season 6.
No way.
Who saw this video coming?
We did 5 of them prior to this, but that was coincidence.
Yeah, we were just gonna be like, nah, the last 2, nah.
Yeah.
You know what they say? There's 2 types of peoples in the world. Peoples who can interpret things based off of past reactions, and...
This is fine.
So yeah, we're gonna do this. I don't know.
Careful with
the
your
format
name
has definitely changed up. I wasn't here in the last video.
So I think we're going by region now.
Region's easier.
I think like instead of going episode by episode, we're just gonna stick to like storylines, like talk about it, and then just move on.
You skip one thing with the normies, your whole world shook.
Damn.
I mean, but in general, we were still kind of going in order by the events.
Well,
that
okay,
happened
let me
this
say
season.
the.
So
Can I
let's
talk
start
about
with the beginning.
all right, man. First episode.
But before we start, this is
is
a market
Shut the fuck
substitute
up.
for watching the season.
No, it's not. Watch the season.
Watch the goddamn season. What are you
The
talking
first,
about?
okay, I know. The first season. I mean, the first episode of the season is called Red Woman, and the first scene I remember because I just recently watched it.
Is it because you are the red woman?
Shut the
You
fuck
are.
up.
It's a great skit.
Jon Snow.
It's people's
and
like
it
top
goes
3
in,
skits of all time.
We're in on Winterfell. You know what I mean? And Jon Snow's dead body. You know what I mean? And they discover it and shit. You know.
Yeah.
That's
You mean
what
Castle Black?
Castle Black? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Fucking traitor.
Traitors.
That was rough.
Traitors.
That was a rough time waiting in between season 5 and season 6 because it was like you're leaving us on that.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
I think I said enough about everybody's prejudices and the dumb shit that they did last season, so I won't harp on that anymore. But I was like, there's no fucking way Jon's dead. I refuse to believe it.
Yeah. That was the one.
And
I thought he was dead.
I thought, and I really loved how like there wasn't any time pass, and we went right to the next thing, and it just harped straight on to Jon because that was a bit like Jon died. That was the last thing we saw. Beginning part back to Jon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just like it just happened right away, seconds later, which was.
And
awesome.
I'm glad they did it like that quickly and not like draw because that was honestly one death where everybody was like, I don't know. Like
I mean, in between, it's like you're really gonna make this bastard literally so important. Like R plus L equals J. Yeah. All this shit behind his mom is like he can't be dead.
Yeah,
right?
there's no fucking way.
He can't.
I'm glad you guys were all reassuring yourselves because I was like, oh my god, he's dead.
Oh, I remember this reaction. You guys were like bawling. Like you and Nubby were like bawling.
Oh, when he died?
Yeah.
That shit was.
I said it previously, but I didn't expect that to be that way because in the book it's different.
It was still
in the book
shocking.
there's like semblance of
Some
hope
commotion going on.
because there's like like there's all these people trying to fight on both sides. It wasn't just like one-sided, like everybody against Jon.
Yeah.
So that was different, and then I didn't expect the show to do that.
Hey, but kudos to the trailers because like they couldn't show Jon at all.
They
and,
did a
like,
great job.
They had to. There was like this line that Tormund said in the trailer. It was like, "I thought he was the man to lead us into the long night."
Yeah.
But he's actually talking about Mance, like during the Battle of the Bastards.
Oh yeah.
But, like, it's like,
that was
he's
so
talking
well
about
done.
Jon. Jon's dead. Fuck! I thought he was the man to lead us.
Dude. Yeah, and that
Play with
scene
your emotions.
That scene was really, really good. And I think after that happened, I think it was Davos found his body. I don't remember if anybody else found his body.
I'm never gonna fight you.
Davos found his body, and then they basically they took him out of there and they put him up there. And I remember I think Ed went to go get help.
Yeah, they had to go send Dolores had to get help because what's his face?
Alistair.
Alistair still trying to get in there, still trying to fight. I like that they were just like, you guys are the Night's Watch and you're such badasses, but I'm just gonna put up a door in between us and that is going to hold you off.
And I mentioned this last time. Alistair Thorne's story is very ironically funny because he's sent to the wall for being a Targaryen
Supporter.
Loyalist,
Yeah.
and he ends up spending like the whole time shitting on Jon, who ends up being a Targaryen.
Yeah.
I like super Targaryen.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting that in there. Yeah. That's fucking awesome. But yeah, and he's the whole time he's like, he's just like waiting for them to come out or whatever. Like he's like, no, not yet. We're not gonna come out. No, we're still here.
We're just gonna drag this out.
We got a lot of answers.
Do you guys want to just talk about Castle Black? What all happened at Castle Black? Or do you guys?
Yeah, so Dolores
let's
comes back with the wildlings
north to south.
that were saved back at Hardhome, and they come in there with fucking 1-1 and they wreck shit super fucking quick, and it's awesome. And like,
oh yeah, 1-1 bust through the gate.
Yeah, he like throws a guy against the wall, just like splat.
Yeah. Oh, that was awesome.
He gets
that
all
was
the
awesome.
arrows.
Because that one idiot, he shot an arrow, right? What did he do?
Yeah, he did. He did something to one that was inconsequential.
Why'd you do that?
And he just like exploded him on a wall.
That was so awesome.
Like a fucking, ooh.
Our reaction to
Glad
that
I
was
didn't
pretty
see
good.
that.
Oh, man. I rewatched that scene yesterday.
He went
It's
out like,
sad.
He went out like a G. He went out like a G.
Took
I
all
watched
the
the whole
arrow. Yeah, we'll talk about it later, but yeah, man.
So, like, okay,
Shit.
are we just talking about Castle Black?
Let's talk about Castle
So,
Black.
Castle Black. I think that happens, obviously.
The Lady Melisande.
What happens next is, I think, what do you call it again? Ed comes back with the wildlings. He comes in with the wildlings right after that.
Yes.
That's the next sea chain events at Castle Black.
Oh, that was a cool scene where he like walked out of Castle Black because technically his watch has ended.
Yeah, he had died.
John's.
Basically, like Ed comes back in, and I think it's Davos is asking the Red Lady to like, hey, bring him back to life, bring him back to life. And then she gives this whole spiel how she's all sad that she thought Stannis was the one.
Also, before all this, we find out that
she's an old lady.
chain.
Oh, yeah,
she's
yeah,
like
yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of years old.
And that is the end of the episode titled "The Red Woman."
Yeah.
That happens. That's like
Also,
Best skit ever. I'm
Fuck
sorry.
Oh yeah, you know Dustin recently saw it. He just told me right now. He's like, bro, he would not stop. I'm like, bro.
Still.
Hilarious.
There's some things you don't want on the internet.
Amen.
Man,
I'm sorry.
when that started happening, I was just like, my God.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
how long has she been around? What
Yeah,
has she
man.
seen?
I thought she's been around since like the Night King days, bro. You feel me? Like she's
Nah,
dude,
I don't
we
think
gotta
she's
be
that
fucking
old.
old.
Do you think
bro.
She's like hundreds of years old, not
Yeah,
thousands.
hundreds.
Do you
bro.
think Stannis would still have been a big believer if, like, when they were going at it, it just like fell off and he was like, oh!
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh
my
my
God.
God.
Stannis
Stannis,
at
I
that
believe
point-
it now.
She does look like a leather
At
chair
that
come to
point,
life.
Stannis is willing to do anything. You know what I mean? Anything when it comes to that right there.
Yeah.
But
There goes
also,
your hero, bro.
oh yeah. And also like he basically asks her to bring him back and whatnot, and then she has her fucking issues with it. And I remember after that, the Wildlings and Ed basically took charge of the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
And they threw down Alistair and like the traitors.
Well, John kills all the traitors.
No, that doesn't happen yet. They get a hold of the traitors before John.
Yeah, but I mean, John doesn't give power to Ed until he kills the traitors and then leaves, and he's like, "Now you're the fucking Lord Commander." You
No,
outta
like
here.
before that, I remember Ed and like all the wildlings capturing Alistair and capturing Ollie and putting in like actually like they call them the traitors, and then they revive John. If I remember correctly.
No.
It didn't happen. Whoops, I'm sorry.
Wait.
I think that's what happened though, bro.
That might have been because
Yeah.
they busted in.
And then because they couldn't because they were there. And then,
Thousands of years, the Night's Watchers held Castle Black against the wildlings. Until you.
Throw them into the cells where they belong.
and then then Davos talked to the Red Lady and had the Red Lady bring John back. Obviously, we see that whole entire scene happen.
Yeah.
John comes back to life or whatever. And then after
And
that,
they like hung on that shot too because it was just
Yeah,
like
it was so well
because it was
done.
like slow, like the camera zoom in and then he was just like
and then it was
just like,
you knew
"Fuck
you knew something was up as soon as fucking Ghost moved towards
Yeah,
him.
Ghost
He was
yeah
like,
because he sensed
and
it.
you're just like,
They were lingering on the shot, man. I was like,
And it goes
do
back.
it, fucking
Come on,
do
just
it.
do it.
that's the end of episode 2.
Can I tell you the comment I remember from that part on our reaction video?
What?
Black dude almost killed his girl.
Oh, yeah.
Brad and John, you were like,
That's an appropriate reaction.
Their effects is really like all the stab wounds like
They look super.
Oh, yeah,
they
it
look
was
wet.
super
They always
grotesque,
look
bro.
wet.
their makeup is so good.
I just
Like he's a
remember,
fucking cherry pie. And like you put slits in the top of a pie. That's what John's body looks like.
Did I cry again after that? I feel like I would cry again.
I was happy. I said, "Lord Commando, you back?" Hey man, funny story. I know you guys have heard the story so many times, but I guess when the show ended, like after season 5, Kit Harington got pulled over by a police officer, and when he got pulled over, the police officer was like,
oh yeah.
he was basically asking, he's like, "Hey man, do you survive? If you survive, let me know if you like basically, I won't give you a ticket if you tell me what happened at the end of Game of Thrones if you live or not." And Kit Harington was basically like, yes, I do live. And then like the police officer was like, "On your way, Lord Commander." He's like, "On your way, Lord Commander." And it's like,
Kit Harington, stop speeding so you can stop
yeah,
spoiling.
he said that on fucking on Jimmy Kimmel.
That's hilarious.
So when John leaves, where does he go?
Oh, John is leaving. There's still shit that happens up there, man. After that happened and whatever, after he comes back alive, I remember the Red Lady comes in and asks him like, I love this scene. She was like, "What did you see afterwards? You know what I mean? What did you see?" And he was like, "I saw nothing."
Yeah.
That's fucking scary, by the way.
And
She like literally was asking, "Where were you after
And
this?
that's
Where
the-
were you?" She was like, "I was nowhere. I saw nothing."
And that's the second confirmation because Beric Dondarrion said the same thing.
Yeah, there's
He's
like there's
there-
nothing, and he's
there
like
is no
all
other
fucked
side.
up and shit.
It's so fucked up. Like gods are real, but there's no heaven. It's like you're dead. Like you're.
He's like, what's dead is dead.
Dead is dead.
Nah, man, it's a black hole. You can't bring
So-
information back from the other side.
Yeah, I guess he comes
Yeah,
back
screw
after
you,
that.
white woman.
He comes back after that, and then they I think that's when he decides to execute Sir Alistair, Ollie, that whole entire fucking squad.
Fuck 'em.
And after that, he says it's nice to end it, and he gives the fucking his thing to
So
Ed.
Ed,
Yep.
Now my
There you
wish is
go.
ended.
That's what happens.
And then
Once
he
you're dead,
bounces.
it's over.
Bounces to the old north.
He bounces because someone and someone else comes to Castle Black, and that is Theon and Sansa. I think.
I think just Sansa.
No, Sansa and Brienne.
Yeah.
Well,
Sansa, Brienne, and Pop, right?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to talk about Sansa and Theon running through the woods on
Yeah,
the streets
yeah.
of death.
Well, that didn't
They
happen.
go through the
Oh, yeah.
cold ass water.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Brienne finally gets to live up
That,
to her
yeah,
knightlyhood.
that happened
Yeah.
because I remember that because what was his face again? Ramsay sent dogs. Ramsay
Yeah.
found out that his chick died
Yeah.
and was like,
yeah, and then
really
he fed her. He fed her.
Yeah, he
some
fed her.
dogs
He's like,
anyways.
that's good meat. Feed her to the dogs.
Yeah.
Go find them,
like,
basically.
He
And-
kind of felt sorry for a second. Then he was
Yeah,
like, all right, fine.
and then they found Theo and Sansa, and we're like, oh fuck. And then like the best thing in the world happens, fucking Brienne and Pod come out of nowhere, bro, and fucking massacre them. We're just like, yes,
Pod is
Brienne's been following.
yes. It was like the good guys are getting it, dude.
I will shield your back and keep your counsel and give my life for yours if need be.
I pledge to ask no service of you that might bring you dishonor. I swear it by the old gods and the new. Arise.
I was happy.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to have been rescued, surely, after everything. Sounds like
And Theon helps in the fight, too. And then
Yeah,
finally,
yeah, finally.
Brienne's like, yo, can I be your fucking knight?
He
Like, I've
finally
been trying
gets
to
some
do
phantom
this.
balls.
And
Probably,
then
yeah.
that's when Theon decides to go to the Iron Islands.
The Iron Islands. Should
Hey
we
man, I just want to say that
Should we
episode.
talk about Ramsay while we're?
Yeah, but hey, I just want to say that episode. Like, first of all, man, motherfuckers were dying left and right those episodes, bro. The first episode I remember was like the Dornish boys were gone. They were
Yeah.
gone first.
Hoda and
Yeah,
Bran.
they were gone,
Don't
bro.
forget
and then,
Tristan.
oh yeah, and don't forget second episode, Roose takes it, Walda takes it,
Yeah,
future
that's-
Roose boy
that's-
Kill
that's
takes
what I
it,
wanted to talk
and
about
fucking
next.
what's his face takes it. Balon Greyjoy.
See, it was cool. Like, I'm glad like they were killing a lot of main characters this season, but some of them were like, "Fuck, we usually kill Blackfish off screen like
Yep.
that."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
I was upset about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the
Um,
only one that because like
And
it was
yo,
such a
Blackfish
big.
didn't happen until like season.
No, this was.
No,
it was
Black-
a season.
Yeah,
It
because
was
it's
a
the one
season.
where Jamie and them are all
But
taking
it was such
the Riverlands.
it was such a
Yes.
big like payoff. Like, see, he ran away. He went to go piss on a tree at Red Wedding, and then like we finally see him again and spend a little bit of time with him, and then they're
It's
just
like,
like,
you miss Blackfish, he's dead. Do you miss Osha? She's gonna die. Do you miss Shaggy Dog?
Dead.
Rickon?
Dead.
These guys are all
They're
coming
gone.
back and dying immediately.
Well, I wanted to talk about Ramsay and like he was or Fat Walda.
Yeah. Well, look, man.
dead.
Oh, really was
Yeah,
great.
dead.
Bruce
That was
Bolton
worthless,
essentially,
man.
it's once again, so it's the same thing with like people essentially raising and being their own undoing. Like,
Yeah.
Bruce Bolton, you raise his kid to be a fucking crazy asshole,
Yeah.
and you're surprised when he stabs you? Like,
But then again, did he raise
Oh.
him to be a crazy asshole, or was he just like a crazy asshole?
I'm sorry, he
crazy
let
asshole.
him be a crazy.
Yeah, asshole.
He would unleash his son on other people
I think
to
he
do
was-
damage.
I think
Didn't
he
Roose,
was-
Roose once told Ramsay a story about how he raped his mother
Yeah,
under
yeah.
a tree.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, she
Oh, yeah, the
hung
whole-
her father
It
from or
was-
something. I don't know.
They're
hung
just
the-
fucked up people, but I feel like Ramsay is already like unhinged, and for him to have been born in the Bolton society of all societies, it was like the perfect storm
Well-
for just the most sadistic motherfucker.
It's like how like the Children of the Forest made the White Walkers, and
Yeah.
now they're fucking.
Yeah.
Bruce Bolton made Ramsay Bolton, and now he's here to be your
And he
fucking
can't
undoing
Well-
because the weapons that they use to fuck people over with are the ones that
it's
end up
just
killing
like,
them in the
man,
end.
if you're
And
gonna
like,
kill people, like just
I dig it.
I just man feeding people to dogs. That's just so vicious. Like he just He just got rid of the family. He was like, all right, I'm going to kill
Yeah.
Dad. And
And
then,
then-
like, Fat Walda and the baby just, like, fed him alive to the dogs.
He killed Bruce Bolton in front of Small John Humber, by the way.
Small John Numbers little bitch ass was like,
Yeah, he was like, because he's like the next online. You know what I mean? It's like they're basically what I remember from watching that whole episode. They were basically getting rid of the above the line. You know what I mean? The line that was above.
Yeah,
because
the
like,
past
and now it's
generation,
all
the rest of the-
past generation. Now it's like all the kids now.
Like Balon also.
They got rid of Balon.
What I was gonna say, do you think Ramsey and Joffrey would have been good pen pals?
Yeah.
They should have been pen pals.
Honestly, can I be real with you? Can I
They're
be
probably bounce ideas off each other.
can I-
Like, which way
no,
is better?
I'll be honest with you. I actually see them at being at odds.
There can only be one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like they were just those two were just way to each other's head of like whatever. Like it's just like there was. I don't think it would work like that.
They would be too like competitive, I think.
One would kill the other.
Another,
one.
Whatever, guys. They'd be best friends emailing each other like, "Hey, what'd you do today to poison somebody? Oh, that's a
So
good poison
I
method. Let me try
crossfowed
my
a
way."
prostitute to
That's what I
death
feel
today.
like.
Yeah.
So,
I hired 2 prostitutes.
I know where, like,
Another
Yeah,
cool
but-
thing is Bruce, because Bruce died in the second episode, right?
What?
We're kind of jumping
Yeah.
around.
yeah,
now, right?
Bruce died. He died in the second episode. That second episode, Bruce died. Walda died. The kid died.
Bruce
Balon
died in the same way he stabbed Robb Stark.
Oh
It was
wow.
like right, it's the same
Yeah.
up close, right in the gut.
This, okay, where are we jumping next?
I don't know. I feel like we should. We
We
were
should
we
move
were
on.
talking about Sansa and
We
Theon
should go-
making her way up to the, or Sansa making her way up to the wall now.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we
I mean,
have
we
Jon
can-
and Sansa
Oh,
reuniting.
now we're going back.
The first Starks.
Yeah, it's the
reunion.
first Stark reunion, and they never even got
Yeah.
a scene together actually in the show before. But it was still like
Really?
crazy to see him. Yeah. Reunite.
What? They weren't in the lineup in the first episode? When
Nah,
he was-
John wasn't in the lineup. He's a bastard.
Oh, yeah. Damn. I didn't even realize
Yeah.
that.
sorry.
I'm talking about the Jonza.
Is that good?
Some people ship Jonza.
What are we talking about?
Jonza?
What are we talking about?
John's
Hey,
They're weirdos out there.
Why?
Sorry.
Who?
guys, this show's full of incest
What are
already.
we exactly talking about?
This is orange.
We're talking about Sansa
And Jon.
came and gave a huggy to John, and they never had a scene before in the whole show. That was their first.
That was their first scene. Oh, which is interesting, man, because
That's crazy.
kind of shows that they had like love for each other.
Yeah.
I did not realize that. But yeah, that was very emotional. Man,
Yo, oh,
The episode was called Home. I
Oh.
think. Or that might have been
Easy home
I think it
or
was
soft home.
No. Hey, man, we're actually, bro. The fact that we're moving around, we're missing a lot of things. Home was a big episode, by the way.
I know we're missing, but we're gonna come back and talk about this.
Are you sure? Because like,
This is the way we did
Yeah,
it last
well,
time.
yeah,
It was
well,
fun.
well,
we're gonna
No,
come
don't
region
worry.
by
We'll
region.
come back.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
trust me.
Yeah, we're gonna go region
So
by
are we
region.
going to Winterfell now?
Yeah,
no,
what does Jon do
he
immediately after?
didn't meet John until like the third episode.
Yeah, but like we're at where Sansa meets John, hugs him. At
That's
Castle
so
Black.
beautiful, dude.
Oh no,
I've seen,
that was
like,
episode 4 that happened. That was
That's
the
so
first
beautiful.
thing
Like,
that happened.
after like so long
Yeah, it was
being apart
episode
from your
4.
family and seeing like a
Episode
member of
4.
your family, like I saw her. She was
Literally
like,
what I said.
she was standing there like, it's like family. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
It was
Yeah.
really
It was
fucking amazing.
great.
Right before they get back into the same old squabbling ish.
And then that is when.
Is that the season? No, that's probably next season where he leaves her and is like, "You are the lady of the North."
Yeah, that's
Or-
next season.
Yeah, yeah. That
So
was
like,
beautiful, too.
and that's when Sansa finally tells John like everything that's happening, whatever. And I think he also gets. Is that when he gets that letter from fucking whatever? Like, Boston, I have your whatever. Meet me, blah blah blah.
I think
That's
so,
before the
that's
Battle
right.
of Bastards, because
That's
in that
right.
letter, that's when she's like, Rickon's already dead. Like, whatever you
Oh,
think
yeah.
you're about to do, don't even go for it. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And John does not listen.
But he acquired Rickon early on.
But
Yeah.
But Sansa tells him everything that happened to her between like the Boltons and everything, if I recall, and like about everything about
Oh,
Theon.
does this happen? Does this all
bullshit.
take place in Molestown? Because it doesn't take place at Castle Black. Like, where's all of this? Where do
No,
all their
Castle
conversations?
Black,
Castle Black.
right? Yeah, Castle Black.
So then when John's like, my
Yeah.
my watch is ended, and then he walks away from Castle Black.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna. He goes right back.
Yeah, he goes like right.
Yeah.
Are my thoughts incorrect?
No,
No,
hey,
you're right.
Hey,
The sun goes
hey,
there, too.
Hey,
The
I
sun
am
goes
correct.
right
I am
back.
correct. It was that episode. Samsy gets he gets
Samsy.
he gets a letter from Ramsay. It was that episode.
All right.
So
Yeah.
when she gets back, he gets a letter from Ramsay talking about how he has his brother, how he has everything.
By the way, in the book, it's called the Pink Letter, and has way more connotations to it than what happens here in the show.
Yeah, but he
there's-
does.
there-
He
there's
does.
so many-
He does get the letter, and he does get the boss and whatever. I remember that scene perfectly because like she didn't read everything, and Sansa was, and then he basically was like, "No, read everything," and he said like I have your brother, boss said blah 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 blah. I want my
Yeah,
sister
man, I was
back."
so excited to see Rickon and Osha back, and like I was upset.
man.
I was upset the way Osha went.
Which is kind of
Wasn't
silly.
that
I mean, she
episode.
tried to pull the same shit that she's done before, but
Yeah.
I guess she didn't think about it and just got super stabbed.
I was
which
upset.
sucks.
I really liked Osha. I really like that.
She did
actress.
because she did the same thing to Theon when he had the boys.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah.
I really like that.
They worked in the
actress.
same
She-
place,
She
different
It's
side.
fucked up.
plays really good
And
roles.
then after that whole thing happened, I think that's when Sansa meets with Littlefinger, and they talk about how the Knights of the Vale can come help and whatever, and that's when they decide to leave Castle Black and go to towards Winterfell, I think.
Yeah, and correct me.
But they go recruiting for. They go recruiting.
Yeah,
Correct
no,
me if
that's
I'm wrong. Does John ever be like, yeah, go get the Knights of the Vale? Isn't he a
No.
little? He's on the fence about it for
Yeah.
some weird fucking reason. Like, why would he
He
not?
was like, the Knights can't help us. Why?
Yeah, like I can't.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I legitimately can't remember why he didn't
Does
want
he,
them.
or was it Sansa just didn't tell him?
Yeah,
From
I
my
feel-
understanding,
Sansa
Sansa
didn't
just
tell him
didn't
all the
say.
Sansa didn't
Okay.
say shit. Yeah,
Because he
Sansa-
would have been about it. So then, yeah, why the fuck wouldn't Sansa say something? Was she
Because
worried?
she needed
they had
her
mo-
hero
okay.
moment at the end.
Well, it was also because like they had a multiple conversations where John
She was being ignored.
Yeah.
John was still treating her like it.
She was,
Yeah,
but still.
yeah, but like come
Yeah.
on, that's a kind of an
Your
important.
brother
thing.
almost
Well,
died.
so I do
got
like
raped.
that.
But
with,
it's also the level of like she had to kind of keep it secret because like it's
There's
too many
leaks.
too many ears.
They were
Like
also not really listening to her.
Yeah.
Because she was warning them about what kind of a monster Bob
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
were just
See,
like,
that's
whatever, you're
There's
just
that
too
moment.
sensitive,
yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
whatever.
in the
Yeah,
Battle of
100%
Bastards, when
right,
John's standing there and he's like, "Oh, I did the thing that she warned
Warned me about
and
not
he's
doing.
just, pull the
Yeah.
sword out anyway."
They-
Yeah.
He played mind
Don't
games.
forget that they went around. I know, like after that, they went around asking all the houses, and then the Umbers obviously said no. The Cossar said no, and then they went to.
The Umbers and Karstarks allied with Ramsay.
Yeah, no, it was my bad. Umbers did. The Karsarks said no. They went to the Karsarks and they said no.
No, the Karstarks allied with Ramsay.
I know, but they also I think they went to a house and they got denied.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
It,
think
it
that
was
was-
another house. I don't know who it was, but yeah. I know.
Oh,
what you're-
yeah.
and we they went to we guess we saw Leanna.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Leon
Leon
Mormont,
Mormont's like,
Bear Island.
fucking baddest one, bro.
Leanna, dude, the Leanna Mormont memes are hilarious. It's like it's like the Chuck Norris memes. And it was like Leanna Mormont aided in her own birth.
And I like what he said about her
Leanna
parents.
Mormont tucks her. Leanna Mormont tucks her parents.
Oh,
in bed.
I had this question, and I got this question for Surge. What the fuck is Littlefinger's plan? Is his plan to be on the throne? And if so, why
Listen.
has he gone in the most?
Everything post book that they wrote for Littlefinger in this show is not my little
That's
hashtag not my Littlefinger.
I think no. I think okay. This is what happened with Littlefinger. I'll be real. This is what happened with Littlefinger. I think when his plans
First of
went
all,
to
it was dumb for him to give Sansa to the Bolton
Yeah,
in season 5.
yeah.
That was dumb right there.
Now, guys,
I think
Hashtag not my Littlefinger.
I think what happened was
guys, there is a
somewhere down the line, his plans went to shit. And when his plans went to shit, they went to shit. And then when he got to fucking what do you call it, Winterfell, like basically what happened in Winterfell, I think Arya and like Sansa like already knew what was happening, and I think fucking obviously the Three-Eyed Raven was very very vocal about what the fuck he did, and they were just watching him trying to get more and more proof.
But
what
yeah,
we saw was just them watching him.
Why didn't Littlefinger? I feel like Littlefinger told Sansa that she has the Knights of the Vale at her
Yeah.
disposal. So,
Hey, what?
so it really was Sansa not telling John?
Yeah, and I
She
mean,
didn't
she
bring
was
up
doing
to
it
him?
on some vindictive shit. And my point is this: kind of is that like when later on, when Arya and Sansa have a conversation about how Sansa wants to be a leader and wants to be a ruler, and she is a little bit conniving, that kind of proves it. Because like, yeah, Sansa wasn't being listened to, but she also essentially risked John's life.
Yeah.
Like she wagered John's life on the fact that she could get the Knights of the Vale there when she needed, instead of telling him and like helping him properly
kinda-
prepare the plan. You know,
Yeah.
so like. I understand that Sansa, I still think she's a good person, but I do think that inside of her, and that's why it hits her so hard when her and Arya have that conversation, that she does want to be a leader, and she is kind of, sort of willing to like bend those rules in order to like put herself.
I mean,
a little bit
she
of
she's
fun.
got.
learned from Cersei.
Yeah, she's
Oh
got-
yeah,
she-
and Littlefinger. Like she learned from everybody.
She learned
I
from
kind
the
of gave
best.
her the. I kind of gave her the benefit of the doubt of like maybe being like strategic in the sense that she just keep it close to the chest kind of thing.
That's why I think
Yeah.
Sansa's gonna get the throne in the
Hey,
end.
yo,
That's my. I
yo,
think Sansa for the throne.
I think it's gonna be the Night King. That should be. But for real, what she said, Sansa has become like Cersei. Like if you seriously see her towards the end,
No,
not like
I'm
Cersei,
not
not like Cersei, but just like her
She
decision
thinks,
making.
She thinks like Cersei.
Yeah, her decision
She's
making,
like,
the way
"Cersei
she like
do
looks at
this."
people, like her, like no, do this, do that.
I mean,
the way she's like in
she's-
control, I feel like she's gotten out with Cersei because you can see that like towards the end, she's like moving things around in Winterfell, saying get
She
this,
got,
get this kind of
Did
food.
you guys know that Sansa changed her hairstyle depending on the queen or person
Yeah.
she was closest to the most
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
show. Like
Nice.
she did like Marjorie in season
Yeah.
six.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's like a lot of
Pretty cool.
importance in the way like the girls are styling their hair. Like Daenerys, she would like put a new braid in her hair every
Yeah,
time she
yeah.
would win another city.
Because
Ah,
like
I didn't know
the
that.
Dothraki never cut their braids, so as the show progresses, she's got more and more
Yeah.
braids because like she's
Nice.
battle hardened and like more and more battles.
But
That is
what I was gonna say about Sansa, like when we met her, she was like a naive little child. Like she decided she wanted to marry Joffrey when she was like 11 or something.
Yeah,
That's not a decision for you to make. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's the time and era that we're dealing with, and she's a product of that environment. Like I don't think that the fact that she did some conniving little, manipulating things here and there doesn't equal her to Cersei, by
No, I
any
don't
means.
think so.
Plus, there's also the element of like
Because that's more like survival, whereas Cersei is more like power.
I mean, Cersei has killed motherfuckers
Like,
and then fucked her
Sansa
brother
is
because she
more
literally
like-
gets off on it.
Sansa is literally more like, I don't know, like a little bit of
Actively
a
finds
revenge.
family members to
A little bit of a revenge, but mostly survivor. Whereas Cersei is just, I fucking love violence. Give me more.
yeah.
I think she takes the best parts of all the people she's
Yes.
been with.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah,
she didn't want to
she's-
tell Jon because maybe she thought Jon would concoct a battle plan involving the Veil that would.
Yeah.
It would have
Give him a
gotten
disadvantage.
out. It would have gotten
I'm
out,
not
and
saying-
Ramsay would have been able to have a contingency plan.
I'm not saying that
let's-
she's in the wrong for it. I'm just saying that I think that speaks to her
But
character.
I'm
We should
saying-
probably
saying-
move on. We got a lot of
Yeah.
stuff to talk.
And
We're just only on the north still.
One more thing
Yeah.
about the hair, though.
What was it?
When Cersei's hair was cut off, it kind of symbolized her like losing the crown.
Wait,
Oh, she lost her golden crown. What
what
up, Doug?
Just a couple things on that. So
We
no,
got
no,
a lot.
no, not that. No, just
Okay.
two quick things. It's also the element of like their It's also the element of like their siblings. So it's just you kind of fall back in with your siblings. Like you might have not seen your siblings in a long time, but whatever. Anyways, and also weird question: what color were Littlefinger's eyes?
Greenish.
Shut the fuck up.
No. Because like I remember because I was rewatching some episodes. I swear, they're like the red lady when she first meets Arya with the Brotherhood of Banners. Like she sees a prophecy in her eyes. She's like, "You're bullshit," and then she's like, "I see a fierce darkness in you," and she's like, "Green eyes, brown eyes, something eyes that you'll shut forever." So,
I was right. Green eyes like a cat.
yeah. So she kills Littlefinger. So
Who has green eyes?
eyes that she
Peter,
will shut
I don't know. I
forever.
knew that immediately, but yeah.
Peter has eyes like a cat.
Oh.
No, I knew they were green when they described.
Okay,
it.
let's move.
So
Yeah.
further south.
Wait,
But
we're
wait,
not done with the North.
Can we
What?
just finish the
Let's
north?
just, let's just
Oh,
finish
yeah.
the
We're
North.
talking about the
Okay.
battle.
Okay.
Like, so he recruits. What do you want to go for?
What? So yeah, he goes out recruiting. They all say no. Lyanna says yes, and then like battle comes down or whatever the fuck. And I remember like John and they were across the battlefield. They talked strategy about how they were gonna do everything.
Pincer move.
And with as few people as Bear Island contributed,
Yeah, it was yeah.
one of the last people at the very final was a bear shield was still
Yeah.
standing at
Nice.
the end.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah,
So they're just fucking fierce warriors, dude.
Yeah.
They're just
Like
fierce
that was the
fucking-
shield
Really-
he used to charge at
really,
Ramsay.
really fucking good. And then after that whole thing happened, Sansa gives fucking John that talk. He's like, hey, he's gonna fucking bait you. Do not let him fucking bait you with Recon. You know what I mean? And then
No, he's not.
battle comes into play. What the fuck happens? Recon.
Immediately baited.
Immediately baited. We all know how the battle went. It was so fucking intense. That scene with John, that one shot or whatever the fuck you want to call it, where he just like takes out that horse and shit.
Recon zigzag.
What
Fucking
were we
money,
saying?
bro.
We're talking
Fucking
something.
money.
Serpentine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
Zigzag Recon.
and then fuck. Oh yeah, zigzag happened. Fucking obviously Recon.
It didn't
happened.
happen.
No, zigzag didn't
He
happen.
did
Recon
not
died.
zigzag
Recon-
at all.
Points to the bad guys for having that plan to like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
envelop them
Dude,
around.
they
Yeah.
had them. They had them.
Yeah.
Ramsay.
They were fucked.
Okay.
There was a whole scene where fucking John was like covered in bodies, bro. Remember he was gonna fucking die and shit.
But as soon as you hear
You just
like
have to
the
keep-
horns
you
going
can't,
up,
like,
the Knights of the Veil,
yeah.
like it gives me like shivers, dude. Like because you see them charging the slow mo
Yeah.
shot, like the banner.
Fuck you,
Oh,
Ramsay.
so fucking
That-
Pretty cool.
1-1 was killing
So
motherfuckers.
good.
That scene where he's just like covered in bodies and he tries to like swim out.
God.
So
That's
claustrophobic.
my nightmare.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I can't go to the festival.
I feel you.
That's
That's what it feels like.
Sometimes
That's what I think it looks like in my mind.
Feel you.
But
you know what? There's
every-
just certain times when it is like that, but yeah.
Every
But-
festival I've been to, nothing compares to Super Bowl downtown in Indy because that was like
That was the
literally
worst.
you were
Yeah.
this close to people. Like this is Everybody.
Oh, we
It
were there
was
together.
just
It was good
full-
times.
But that shot,
walking
that
streets?
the shot
Yeah.
that you're talking about, that's
That was
also a
my favorite
metaphor
concept.
for like another
Can I
rebirth.
say some things?
Like,
Yeah.
he was
Sir just had his hand up for
born
10 whole minutes.
Thank you. I wanted to give some credit to the bad guys here. Besides that little enveloping formation, Ramsey had it all figured out like he usually does. Even though he's a crazy bastard, he
Literally.
He is literally.
has it
a
figured out.
He had it figured
He's
out.
also an expert with the bow, and the show has
Yep.
always shown us this. Actually, like from the very beginning when he like saved those fake kidnappers from Theon
Yep.
when he was still torturing him,
Yep.
and then when he does his little game with
In fact,
Rick Gunn.
Do we ever really see him with the sword? What about that fight down when they try to
No.
get Reek? Does he have
No.
swords there? Does he
Yeah,
have like
because
2
he has,
axes?
he has like
Yeah.
two like
Oh, yeah.
sai. He has
Oh,
like
yeah.
ninja sai.
I forgot to talk about one scene. So that scene where they were talking, where Ramsey and John met up and they were talking about terms of the war. John asked Ramsey, why don't we
Single combat.
how when we have 1-on-1 combat? And I love what Ramsey said. He's like, people have said you're the best swordsman in all the North.
Yeah,
you
I've
know?
heard about you, Boston.
He's like, I know if I can't beat you, but my army can beat you. And
It makes sense that he fights like that because he's proficient with the bow and arrow. So no matter what, he's going to try to get you with that. And if you come within range of him, then he's close.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And last thing is, I really like the actor they chose for Small John Umber. I know it was such a minor role, but he just looked like such a tough dude.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
like, he was like the perfect bad guy.
Yeah.
Just like, who owns the North? He's like, with me.
I was like, dude,
Tormund fucked Small John Umber up, bro.
Yes,
we thought
in
Tormund
battle,
was
it
done.
made it look like it was about to be John and Small John.
Oh, yeah.
Like, 'cause they look
Yeah.
at each other, and then like the whole trampling shit happens,
God.
and then Tormund
Tormund
fights.
just-
It was so cool.
So well.
Man, I do like that. It's like it's a war well won, but fuck it was so hard. Like it was so
and,
hard.
dude, we've never seen a battle sequence like a war of like that portrayed like that.
Yeah.
Like you always see, you never like they're talking about the research they had to do, and literally there were mountains of bodies in
Like,
the
I-
battlefield because they're just stacking on top of
I
each other.
very much remember watching it and being like, we're watching like history. Like this is like a
Uh.
historic fight scene. This is historic for like cinema making. Like this
Yeah.
is historic for TV. And I was just like, we're fucking in this shit. I was also holding my breath and trying not to die.
It's probably the best sequence in the show. Like it's.
I'm gonna have to
You
rewatch
want
it
to know what
tonight.
happens?
It's very
All
satisfying.
right, what happens next? What happens next is the Knights of the Vale. They fucking come through. You know what I mean?
through.
They fucking ran right through, dude. You see this awesome scene of like Sansa and Littlefinger, and Sansa looks just so badass.
Yeah,
She's
she
like,
just
what's
has
up,
that
girl?
She just has that smile on her face, like fucking. Told you.
Yeah, and then you just see like you just see
Ramsey's
Ramsey's face just
For the first time,
Yeah.
you never see him like, oh my.
And then he just then he gets on his horse and he gets on his horse, takes a few minutes, and he runs. And as soon as that happened, fucking John runs after. Doesn't even get on a horse, runs after him to fucking Winterfell, bro. And then fucking Ramsay gets in there. He tells his troops, like we have Winterfell, blah blah blah, block everything down, seal all the shots, seal whatever. Doesn't matter, bro. Because one comes in, bro. He starts bashing it. And they shot. I remember they shot a spear into one's hand, and one just fucking was like, "Fuck this!" Pulls it out, pulls it out.
Yeah,
he bashes it in, and they're going at it with the man. This is literally what
He's the
happens.
real MVP of,
Yeah.
For real.
of the Bob, right?
And then
Dude.
yeah, and then Ramsay kills him off with one last one.
Such a dick.
Yeah, and then
Right in the eye.
obviously John comes in, and it's a fist to fist, and they go 1-on-1, and he beats the fuck out of
And,
him.
and the shit-
You know what's funny? In the behind the scenes, the creators were like, and we're supposed to look at our hero John and say, "Oh my gosh, this guy's like, he's barbaric. He's not holding back."
It's like, that's
nope,
not-
I was
Nope.
like,
that's
punch
not-
the
Yeah.
shit out of
Yeah,
him.
that's
Yeah,
not
that's
that
what-
shit.
I wanted him to look
crazy.
like straight strawberry
That's
jelly,
not-
just
not what I was
fucking
And,
bloody
And the
nose.
shield he was
Yeah.
holding was the Bear Island shield. So
Oh,
like,
yes,
they,
yes.
they lasted until the
Man.
end.
That was not
They
barbaric.
They lasted
at all.
till the end.
And then I think, and then
It was funny.
Sansa comes in and like sees what's happens or whatever the fuck, and like I think John leaves, and that's when the nice our favorites. We'll talk about that.
I wish.
There's like a lot of non-verbal communication
Yeah.
happening in that scene between Sansa and John, where John
Yes.
is just like
Yeah.
just hammering into him, and Sansa's like,
Bitch.
"Is it my turn now?" And he's
Oh.
like, "Okay, you can take
He
it."
go,
You can
oh
take
yeah,
it
that
now."
was so
And
good.
then
And then she just like takes him to the kennels.
and then
But
They have their big speech. In her speech, he tries
That part was barbaric.
he tries to be all like,
No.
no matter what,
like, I'm a
I will.
part of you now.
I'm always a part of you now. And then she's just like, okay, and smiles, and just basically leaves. He's like,
So
you
this
had-
was very Cersei-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says here.
She's
is-
like,
is Cersei-like.
he's like, my hounds trust me. They're loyal to me. She goes, but you haven't fed them in 7 days.
yeah.
And then she starts walking, and the hounds come out, and he's like, sit. sit.
Yeah.
Licks his face.
And then the first one goes right in his face.
It was such a cute little dog.
God.
You know what?
Guys,
It's a
that
cute
was
doggy.
fun.
If you go back, it's
Such
like
a cute
And actually, when they did the VFX for that, it was actually way more gruesome. Like there was actually a lot more to that scene, but they had to dial it back because they were like, okay.
So-
Like, you can see him getting eaten. You
I'm
can see her smiling, just like,
Oh,
she's like walking
so
away smiling.
before
I'm
that,
smiling, man.
I'm talking about, but when she was like, "Your house will disappear."
Yeah.
your
Oh,
family
yeah, I
will
forgot
disappear,
about
your
that.
name will disappear. That's like
That's
Ray
literally Ray
Casper.
Casper.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
and
so
she goes,
sexy.
oh yeah.
And
So-
that
See, I
smile.
imagine not my
and
cat eating me when I'm dead like that.
Cats will 100% eat
Cats
you.
will
that.
100%.
Amira
My
will.
cat. My cat.
He said that first, and then he said, "I'll always be a part of you."
Yeah.
And then she talked a little bit more, and then
Well,
And the-
Sansa's already proven that all the bad guys that she's met obviously are a part of her, and she learns from them, and she's even willing to use people like Peter Baelish to get shit done. I do want to say though, like, this is the end that I wanted for Joffrey. This is how much I hated Joffrey, that I wanted to see it like this.
Yeah.
But luckily, we
They
got to
have-
see it for fucking Ramsay. I hate your guts, Bolton.
okay.
Winter finally came.
Well, Winter finally obviously came. A couple things
He's
that happened.
like,
in the
Father
north.
always told us.
Don't. Yeah, that happened. And don't forget the Samuel Tarly, obviously, big
Oh,
man. He goes to he goes to his father's because he
Yeah.
wants to leave
Oh,
Gilly
yeah.
and whatever behind there.
Sam's
And
whole
he-
family sucks
yeah.
except for the ladies.
Yeah, and then he's like, no, fuck this. He takes the family fucking sword
Yes.
because it's very well needed. And they go off to the Maester's citadel and whatnot, and Sam is at the citadel right now.
I think that's kind of one of the like mainliest things we've seen Sam
Yeah.
do. He really kind of like stood up for his lady, and he was like, "Fuck this,
Dude,
fuck
that's-
them,
That
we're
got
leaving."
laid. That minute he had a voice.
And by the way, hey, Dickon had a character change. I'm saying it. And the
Yeah,
character
he's
change-
fucking Luther.
He's Luther!
Fucking Luther, fucking Space Boy.
It's-
You're dumbass. You're dumbass in this show. You're
From,
dumbass in that show.
Oh yeah, he's the same kind of fucking character, man.
God.
Literally. But
Just a hammer.
yeah,
Just a hammer
so-
with a face.
yeah. So that whole happens, and then Sam, takes Gilly with him. He goes to the Maester that we see the Citadel. and
He
shit like
takes
that.
Heartbane too.
Yeah, he takes
Yeah.
Heartbane to the
And
Citadel.
that dinner scene was like, man, like when you finally meet his, like he's been talking about his father this whole time, and you finally meet him, and you're like,
And
okay.
then-
He does not disappoint.
It's
He
about
is
it's about what I expected.
just a stern, stubborn ass.
He's reminded me of Tywin, but like louder. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because
He was-
What was the one line where
Tywin,
he's like,
but,
"You
like,
dare
really
bring this
racist.
wide-legged whore to my dinner
Yeah,
table,"
he was
like, so-
way
so-
more
"You
racist.
expect me to die with it?"
He
Yeah, yeah.
He was
that's
way
what it
more.
was.
He was way more racist, bro. He was way more racist and way more hardcore because he was talking about flogging people because they couldn't walk.
Yeah, but Sam's mom is nice.
Yeah.
Mommy
It was-
Tarly is very nice.
It was a
I just want
big
to say how
difference.
Sam came from that man.
I think Tywin and this guy are way too different.
Really?
Like Tywin was smart.
Tywin,
and,
like-
Well, that's
he
what-
was-
But,
he
but,
was-
but
That's
I'm
what
saying,
Mickey's saying.
I'm
Luke
saying
says
like
he's
his
louder.
aggression was still there, but like Tywin like contained it, but like
I feel like Tywin
with
had
the
more heart.
with what's his name?
Like Tywin had like political
Tywin had
smarts.
heart.
Hey, but Randall Tarly gave Robert Baratheon his only defeat.
Yeah, he did.
Before,
Randall
I
Tarly,
always gave
yeah.
that, like, gave him his
Yeah,
own
he
defeat,
says that, he
right?
says
He's
that.
good commander.
But
Even though he didn't last shit against
I
Daenerys.
like Marcus. I agree with Marcus. Like I feel like Tywin had a heart, man. Because Tywin helped Arya out in the beginning. Remember that whole thing? Tywin was very like.
He was only
didn't
helping her
seem
because he
like-
thought she was a normal person. If he'd have known she was Arya
Right,
Stark,
right.
she'd have been
Oh yeah,
super
let's
tortured
not-
with
you
everyone
know what
else.
I mean. But okay, so that happens. That's a big thing that happens. Another big thing that happens is obviously we get a lot of fucking flashbacks, and that is because of
We get
Grand
a lot
Stark.
of,
Yeah.
He becomes the three-eyed Raven. Remember, he was up there. He was with three-eyed Raven learning.
And with
you see,
Mira.
you see all the flashbacks
Yeah.
from
We
the
get
Tower
Mira.
the Tower of Joy, all
Yeah,
that
man,
shit.
that whole fight.
That whole thing happened.
Yeah.
We saw
Yeah,
all
we-
that.
Sir Arthur Dane.
We saw Sir Arthur
We can't
Dane.
just gloss over that. The fucking fight with Arthur Dane and
Fucking two
Gerald
swords.
Hightower and fucking Ned Stark and dude. That was,
Jojo
that
was
was
dead.
so-
Howland Reed.
Alan Reed.
dude, the choreography in that fight scene, like Arthur Dane is just fucking just.
And it's not like two small
Dude,
swords either.
yeah.
You've held our swords before. You gotta hold the bitch with two hands, and he's
That
like,
was the fight.
Bro,
what up?
choreography
they
of that
had-
fight
and
was like when he gets the one guy by the neck and just like
scissors his ass.
my
His
God.
armor, his Targaryen
Dude,
armor.
I love
so
it. I
sweet.
love
Sick.
it when that's it ends now, and that fight fucking happens and whatnot, dude.
Now it
And-
Oh,
and
remember
now-
we tried
yes, now it
to
ends.
remember we tried to replicate the shot where it's like a dolly shot, like it comes down. Like,
Yeah.
we tried to do it with a drone, but it was so well done. Like it's like a top-down shot, and then it just like comes down and shit. Just
Dude, and then
the choreography
they,
of that scene was amazing.
They showed it so well that he got stabbed in the back, and that's how he fucking went down.
Yeah.
Arthur Dane. And then even fucking Bran was like, "What? That's not how my father told it." And that was the first glimpse we really got, or his son got, that maybe Ned Stark is not as honorable as he seems. There are some things.
The
behind
Ned
it.
Stark
there was no
scene,
reason
It kind of
to
seems like
tell
the
him
only
that.
thing he's ever lied about, and honestly, I'd have lied about that shit too.
I'm about to get some
Fuck yeah, be Sir Arthur Dayne.
Yeah, it's like, you wanna fuck with me,
Did
Jaime
Ned
Lannister?
see
I'd be
Bran
Sir
for a
Arthur
second, or
Dayne.
like feel it?
Oh yeah, Ned did see Bran for a second because remember Bran called out or said something. He was like father, and then Ned
yeah,
went
yeah,
back for a little bit.
I think that's
Well,
gonna
he didn't-
truly
he
go
didn't-
unexplained for the rest of the
Yeah,
fucking
Yeah,
show.
I thought that was just
No.
hinting at the Hodor thing.
It hit at the Hodor thing.
He didn't see him.
And then
he just heard something.
Going
Yeah.
on to continue on with more flashbacks.
Oh, the
Obviously,
dog.
we have the hold the door
Ah.
incident happen.
Sorry.
Yo, I watched that whole thing
It
again,
was
bro.
painful.
That shit was fucking painful as fuck.
So
'Cause
I
he's like,
laughed that
and that,
episode
that episode was
again.
called. I think that episode was called
The door.
Hold-
The Door.
The Door.
The Door. Yes, it was called The Door.
What door?
And they were talking about how everybody was like back at home and all that good stuff and everything. How Winterfell was. You saw baby Lyanna. You saw.
Oh yeah, little
Brendan.
Ned, little Benjen.
Yeah, you saw
And
all
even
that
what's
shit.
his name? His older brother.
And
Brendan.
let's not forget about like the major flashback where we see the children of the forest. Like,
Yes,
Yeah,
creating
yeah.
making
See
the
that?
by
lights
pushing
And
dragon
no big
glass.
deal.
Is it dragon glass?
It was dragon glass.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were just like,
And then made
They're
them-
made out of what
I think-
can kill them.
Yeah, he
I
put
don't
dragon
know.
glass
Yeah,
into
see,
the heart.
it's, like, it's
I
still
can-
like what's
That's
the
when they
science
humans
behind
So,
it?
work
and then,
together.
and then after all that happens, hold the door happens. Remember, fucking
Wait, are
Brandon
we just
Mira.
glossing over these things? Like, you're,
Wait,
you're
I mean,
moving-
I don't know.
I mean, we got a lot to
We got
cover,
a lot
so-
to cover, bro. But yeah, so then Brandon Mira fucking leave, and as they're leaving, they're getting chased by fucking White Walkers, and then guess who comes and helps and saves the day? Benjamin Coleman, bro, comes in.
Oh, Leaf dies, and so does the three-eyed
Oh, yeah.
Raven.
By the
Oh,
end,
and
yeah.
also
yeah, the
Summer.
last of an ancient race.
Yeah.
Was like,
It's like a major
Summer
stab.
dies. Like
Wait,
Summer.
fucking
yeah,
died.
Summer dies.
I
All
was
the-
so pissed about that.
So it's
one.
only Nymeria and Ghost left in, right?
Yeah, but
No,
Are
I
they
mean,
required by
Nymeria
contract
is
to die?
also out of the picture because like we saw her, but are you
Actually,
like,
we don't know if it's
living
her,
your
though.
life.
Legit
She
question
said-
though.
Nymeria is
If
hashtag
you,
living her best
if you
life.
watch that scene, I don't know if it's her because she's like, it's not you, girl. That's what.
But no, it
No,
definitely.
no,
No,
She meant-
no, that was definitely.
she meant that's not you.
Oh.
Like,
No, that was definitely Nymeria.
I don't know.
That was for
I
sure.
don't know.
But my question is, it's like all the other direwolves have died except for two. Like they were on the fucking
Yeah,
losing end, like their
Nymeria
siblings. So
and
Ghost.
Ghost. Yeah,
So do you
Ghost.
think they're gonna die? Like,
I
is
think
that
so.
like-
Ghost,
I
no,
think so.
Ghost ain't dying, bro.
I
Ghost
think
is gonna be the
Ghost
only
is
one.
Well,
dying.
I know. I think
surviving.
Nymeria got like the happy ending. She's maybe she'll come back in with her pack to fuck shit up, but
I hope she does. I
No,
hope
bro.
that happens during.
No,
the
bro.
season.
Why wouldn't
He's
she
gonna
come
have.
in?
but
John's
I
gonna-
think
Oh,
so.
wait,
Following
let's
the
go
pattern.
back to the season because Nymeria not even in this season.
John is gonna have Ghost, and he's gonna have one of the dragons. The Ghost is gonna be on the back, kind of like R2D2. You know.
Yeah,
Well,
totally.
I don't see it going
So,
down like that.
With the three-eyed Raven
I hope John
dying
rides on
after he
back.
downloaded everything in the Bron, they kind of fucked Bran up real good.
Off
Yeah.
of Werewood Net.
Yeah. And then with Cold Hands like coming in, like it was kind of like I didn't see Cold Hands being able to come in. I'm not saying it was fan service, but it was fucking hype. And it was like, oh shit, because it's like all these things from season one. You're like, well,
Yeah.
sooner or later, and it's like here's the payoff.
And he's
And
dead.
that was
Next
one of those
season.
things where it was like, you know, obviously sped up for the show, but I think in the books, obviously, it's handled.
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is some of the little
It's
fan fiction.
very, very-
fan fiction
This
It's
is the
like
stuff
that.
where they had to kind of stuff shit in.
It kind of
Yeah.
did go into play a little bit, like the way Cold Hands explained how everything went and why he's been there. He explained that he got attacked, he was going to turn into one of the White Walkers, and the Knights, the Children of the Forest found him, and they put, I think, whatever dragon glass into his heart, and that stopped him from turning for a White Walker. That's why he's
Can they
half
only
woman.
do it, or if you just put dragon glass in anybody's heart?
I don't know, man.
It's like if you
Hey,
do it
that's
yourself.
an
I wouldn't just
experiment.
stab anybody with
This,
that.
just
hey,
die.
bro, if I'm turning a White Walker, bro, you better send me with the
You
dragon
just gave
glass.
yourself the Uma
It's
Thurman.
like 50-50.
I was stabbing with the grand, but yeah,
So wait, he was turning and
he was
bending?
turning,
Yeah.
and then they stabbed
That's why
him
he's.
with,
That's why he can't go past the wall.
Yeah,
right?
that's why. Yeah, he can't go back to the wall.
But that ritual occurred in the Weirwoods.
Yeah.
And like there was the stones were
Yeah.
arranged. And, like there was like
Yeah.
some magic involved. I don't think you can just stab somebody with dragon glass to save them.
That's where Bran also had that vision where like the Night King touches him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's when how they're able to come and attack.
And he puts the GPS.
Where did the
marker
Night King touch you, Bran?
on. Hey, he put a GPS tracker.
Yeah, dude, that shit is lit. That shit is so lit, bro. Because after
Should
that,
have just chopped his arm off.
And that's when they could once he.
No, he's already can't use his legs. Take the fucking arm.
I mean, isn't
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it a
I guess it would have been worth a try.
Eventually, with those two, they do end up at the wall.
That's also what allowed, like, after he touched them, that's what allowed them to move past the fire too, right? Like that's like different.
That when he touched him, that allowed him to go into the fucking fire
into the den. They burrow up under there.
Yeah, that scene was amazing. Though, Bran walking
I
out.
think that's still in the fucking north.
I think that's it for the north, bro.
What about the mountain and Ian McShane? Aren't they in the north?
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. If you want to talk about that real quick.
We didn't talk. We talked about hold the door and everything. Yeah, we were.
Okay, mountain. If you want to go,
Sure. So, boom, surprise, the Hound's still alive, and now he works at a church with Ian McShane. They're building a church, and he's got a good life. But then a couple of fuckboys from the fucking Brotherhood without banners come through, and they murder everybody. I legitimately can't recall why.
Were they like the fake?
Oh, they did it because they needed food and shit.
Oh, that's right, because the winter's coming and provisions are low. So what they don't do is murder the Hound, which is a big fuck up. Hound shows up.
They murdered Ian McShane.
They didn't murder the Hound because the Hound was not there.
That's right, he was off.
Odin.
So they show back up, the Hound shows up and he finds them, and it's just shit talking and murder. You're shit at dying, just splunk. He's not even trying.
Because they were trying to give him like, let me kill both of them. He's like, no, you can't. Let me kill all three of them. He's like, no, you can only kill two.
Well, no, he manages to kill somebody though, doesn't he?
He manages to kill two of them, and the way he
right.
hit him, he's like, okay. He's like, let me get him. He's like, that's not the way to die. He's like, well, that's all you get. Because he's trying to bargain with the brothers. His brothers without banners.
They're gonna hang him.
Yeah,
and he's like, I want to do one of them.
The Brotherhood finds out with these guys dead, they were gonna hang him anyways, and like basically, the Hound comes in on this whole situation, and he's like, no, fuck that. Let me kill these motherfuckers because they killed my friends. And he was arguing about
like, killed you once before, not daring to make me do it again. The dialogue is hilarious. Even if it gets like fan fiction-y at some parts, the dialogue and the character interaction.
It's so good.
Perfect.
And then he's like, you're a shit at dying, and he was basically talking about like how he wanted to like kill them with his bare hands and just. But they were like, no, you can't do that. You have to kill them like this, and he can only kill two of them. So he killed two of them and he just hung them.
The Brotherhood, they've always been.
They're just a shit show.
They've always been funny because, like, even when Arya was with them, they were like, "You guys, all you care about is the gold." But he's like, "But we're gonna do good stuff with it." Like,
I think this happens in this season. I'm pretty sure
it might be next.
No, I don't think it's
where he goes to the cabin. Are you talking about?
Yeah, I think
that's next season.
That's next season.
Yeah,
sure.
100.
Okay.
He sees the people.
But I know he talks to him about joining up and. Like basically starts talking about being part of the Brotherhood.
Let's fuck with some Iron Islands.
Yeah.
Yaren Greyjoy
shows up.
He's like, "Hey,
Balon dies
it's time for me to enter the store."
Throws him off a bridge.
Yep.
I kind of wish they were introduced season 5 because there were some other Greyjoy brothers that could have been introduced that would have been cool for the show.
Yeah.
Or just family members.
Like there was one who claimed to like have gotten a horn that can tame a dragon that he got from Valeria or some shit.
Can I just say Euron and Theon look a lot alike in real life?
That was good.
That was a good casting.
That was good casting.
That was very good casting. But I didn't like
Crosstalk.
Euron was like so annoying, just immediately wanting to off like his nephew niece and just like wanting to just like cross over, just like.
I think he's the embodiment of how the Iron Islands should be.
Yeah.
And he's just pretty enough to be cocky. Like, in the Iron Islands, he's like, I look good, and also I'm a fucking Kraken. Like, so he's like 100% an asshole.
You know?
I mean, he's charismatic.
No, I mean, look at everybody else on the Iron Islands, and then look at Euron.
Yeah.
Everybody else looks like fucking salt people.
Charisma.
Like grimy.
I mean, like
they literally are like soaked in water.
Charisma.
So like after,
God damn it, I'm trying to.
Wait,
let me say, like, his speech was just like, I mean, his charisma just like won that because like. I mean,
I claim to being bad.
He gave a convincing speech.
Like, you know what? My sister was wrong. Theon should have manned up. I know you're ridiculous and shit, but Theon should have manned the fuck up.
So I remember.
He just jumps off the boat too when she gets kidnapped. He never mans up.
Wait, that's like way later.
I was just saying, like, he just
Yara deserved that.
Yeah. So like,
that was an emotional scene with them too, where he's like, "You should run the islands."
When Theon shows up, he just says that he just wants to be there to help Yara. And
Yeah.
he said Yara deserves to be the queen. And they had this whole big thing where like literally all the Iron Irons was beyond Yara. And then fucking Euron comes in
That's what I'm
and talks about how he's a fucking cock and he's gonna give it to the queen and shit and
it's
just like
that's where Theon should stop.
And like
he came in with information.
Yeah.
Like, he came in because he'd also heard about what Dany was up to. So like he came in with something that Yara didn't have.
Yeah.
Like,
and as soon as that shit happens, Yara basically takes Theon takes
What do you
all the
think about it?
loyal members of the members behind the Iron Islands. They take all the I think most of the ships and they head towards Daenerys basically.
Yeah. Well, Yara was sending emails from her own personal.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. She had a boat server and it was
Yeah,
too
bro,
personal,
for real.
and the White Walkers'
she didn't
ISIS
know.
could have gotten to it at any second.
She didn't know that she
And
was.
then that's
This
when
next season, never mind.
Yara goes to Marine, and then you
That's
see the
sweet.
flirtatious ass scene
well,
between those two.
What did she say? What did
Hang on, I think
I
Marquette's
just-
been
I
trying
just-
to.
so funny.
she's-
She's
I just
They're hitting
wanted
on
to
each
say
other.
that I think that the scene, the election, end quote, where they're making their two speeches,
Yeah.
it was the funniest thing to me in the whole show because it literally was just like, blah, 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 I should be the queen. And they're like, yay! And then he comes in and is like, blah, 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 blah.
I have a
should be
dick.
the king.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yay!
That skit that we did. Remember,
Yeah.
we did the exact thing. We're like, I agree with that. I agree with that.
What did the sand lady
So
tell
funny.
Yara though? She's like, I'm invading a country or whatever it was when they were hitting on each other. It was so good though.
They don't. They shouldn't throw
That's
the stand six
that's
to
sexy.
7.
Yeah. And so,
It was just so good.
and then I think after that is when Dany decides to leave and heads to she has the ships. But if you guys,
Whoa, whoa, whoa! There's a
Whoa,
whole
whoa.
bunch of Danny shit.
I know that's what we're talking about next.
Yeah,
Dany, there's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
shit happening with Dany. Dany, beginning.
I should-
Remember,
I should-
Dany.
She's with the calls.
Yeah, she's with the Dothraki.
Hold on, guys. We
whatever.
didn't talk about Dorne now, did we? Or the Red Keep? Are we jumping over there now?
Let's talk about that and then talk about.
Can we
Dorne
talk
real quick.
about Yara meeting Danny real quick?
Yeah,
I should be.
And then let's talk about Dany, and
I
then let's
should
go.
be Annie.
Let's go
So
there.
yeah, it was cool that like Danny was like, so your brother's, your uncle's proposal was one of marriage, and she was like, is yours? And Yara was like, I never demand, but I'm up for anything.
Right?
Alright, I can see it.
I'm gonna say Yara's one cool.
Yo, when they were sitting there, they were flirting. That shit was hilarious,
Yeah.
and I love when she talked about like, you know, we want to leave this world better than our fathers. That was like that. I
Yeah.
feel like the beginning talks about because like this
Yeah.
is the next generation of like rulers that's happening right now, and it was a really
And-
fucking awesome scene to just
and
see.
And
that.
she
And this
agrees
was,
to no
uh,
reaving, raping, or pillaging.
Yes,
It's
yes,
like,
yes, that's
way
her
of
whole-
life, so.
She's like,
Yeah.
And it's fucked because, like, real talk, like, if women were running the islands, they wouldn't be running around raping motherfuckers.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
And this
And,
is
like-
and this is where we see a lot of like the female characters like
Yes, becoming leadership
in
positions.
top positions, and so now there's
'Cause,
this whole
I mean,
meaning to all men must die.
We
you know,
should
like,
we can talk about Dorne because that's what
Oh,
happened
that's
in
my
Dorne,
God.
right? Like that's literally what
Yeah.
happened in Dorne.
Clueless.
Dorne, it was a female takeover, man. Like Ilaria said, you know what I mean? She was like, no,
But I
fuck
hated it
Chris
in
Doran,
Dorne.
fuck Chris Doran, fuck
Fucking
Tristan,
straight
yeah,
through
bro.
the face. Look, man. All right, I understand. It really felt like they cut their losses for the Dorne. They were like, bro, we got this great shit written for Dorne. Like, if there's gonna be these fights and there's gonna be this and that, the Sand Snake's gonna be in, and they were like, I don't think we can fit all that in. I mean, we got the Battle of the Bastards, and they're like, all right, so this is what happens in Dorne: is everyone gets stabbed and then they leave, and we never show Dorne again. They're like,
everyone
tight.
dies.
Ariel Hoda,
right?
Like I've heard so many stories. Like I don't know who Ariel Hoda is that much because of the show. Because I just know that he was a badass. That's all I've known about the guy.
Yeah.
He's
he
badass,
and he just fucking.
and they just did him away.
right? He
Just
even
like
almost
that.
fought Jaime, and he's like, if you'd have had your hand, like this would have been one hell of a fight. It's like,
Oh yeah, the fight that never was, dude. That shit sucks. One other thing happens in Dorne. Olenna Tyrell comes in. And
Owns the Sand Snakes.
Yeah, owns the
Straight
Sand
up,
Snakes.
They put that scene in there for the fans, bro.
They literally did, bro. She's like, Obara, what's
You
your
look like
name
a boy.
Obara?
Angry boy.
a new boy.
Dude, Olenna Tyrell, man, came in like the boss lady talking to them. That was a really good
Yeah.
scene. And they were basically trying to like work their plans to go after.
Did we talk about wait, did we talk about King's Landing at all?
No, we're gonna talk about that last. We still
Okay.
need to talk
Yeah,
about
okay.
Dany
All right,
still.
okay.
So now we're back over to Dany, and then we're
Yeah.
finishing with
Alright.
King's Landing.
What did Daniel do?
She was hung out with the Dothrakis.
She
They found out she
them.
couldn't speak the language,
Ooh.
and then she was like, "Oh!" After her boys came to get her, she was like, "No, don't take me yet. I got a plan. It's gonna
Discount
get me an
Drogo.
army." Discount Drogo.
Discount Drogo.
And then she fucking hit him with the butt naked fire move, which gets everybody on your side every time.
Yeah, she
Oh, yeah.
burned everything. Wait, she burned like the
All the calls.
All the calls.
Buy stuff.
Yeah.
Last Star Rock, she killed all the calls.
All the masters.
All the
See,
masters.
can
They're
I
all
get you
call-
guys all in one room real quick? I have an announcement. They're like, they're Dothraki to the
Like-
play. She's gonna knock us all
Because
in.
they're also not allowed to carry
And then-
weapons
oh, yeah.
there.
Yes.
Mrs. Mia Clark showed her
Yeah,
boobs.
this
It
is
was her
also-
boobs.
One last time.
This is also where Dany talks to Jorah and like basically kind of forgave Jorah for all the shit that he did and like asked Jorah,
For
hey,
how many time now?
After, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. It was like, hey, he was like, hey, go fix yourself, and then come back to me. That is my order to you as a queen. And that's when.
God, so much exile.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all
Like,
good.
bro, how many times
It's all
She ordered him to find cure.
You swore to obey my commands for the rest of your life. Well, I command you to find the cure. When I take the 7 kingdoms, I need you by my side.
Yeah. So.
Bro, and he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
I mean, even though
It's
it
like-
kind of
it's like-
happened very conveniently.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
I
You
will
went
just
so
rub some
far from
ointment
love.
Yeah, so conveniently.
It's
So
like
after,
grayscale is the most
after-
incurable.
But
after-
they knew
Just
that,
rub some cream on it.
Shirley got cured, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
sure, you know
while
you're
while this is all happening in Marine, basically they find the masters of Yunkai. They come in and attack, and their slaving is not done.
Oh, yeah,
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens.
Tyrion does some good.
Yeah, Tyrion. No,
Yeah,
Tyrion,
he does some good, but he also
let me
pisses
finish,
a
let me
lot of
finish.
people off.
Tyrion basically works it out with the masters of the Yunkai that they would get rid of slavery in the next 7 years. It'd be a slow whatever. And everybody was like, Tyrion, that's a dumb idea. Don't do that. They were like, no, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But as soon as that shit happens, literally like I think a couple of days later, the masters of Yunkai come and attack Marine.
Yeah.
And within that moment, they find out that the masters of Yunkai are they're financing the queens, king of the Harpy.
The Son of the Harpies are financed by all the other slave cities.
Yeah.
Which made
So-
a lot of sense. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't think that.
Oh yeah. So this is all fucking happening. All is attacking and whatever. They're just like, oh shit, what are we gonna do?
Attacking.
And then out of nowhere, like after all that shit happens with Danny, Danny comes in out of the blue, comes in to save the day.
Also, Tyrion used the red priests and that religion to help.
Yep.
Like,
Oh yeah.
And listen, what Tyrion was doing actual politics
he used
where
the other red priests.
Yeah.
where he was doing actual politics where instead of actually solving the problem, he just kicked the goalpost down a little bit.
Yeah.
So they were like, hey, we got a problem with slavery. And he's like, slavery is bad, but let's just have like a 7-year thing where we kind of wean it off.
Yeah.
But
And
you
then,
like
like-
bitches?
Yeah, right?
There you go.
He was
It's
trying
And
to
then he's like,
work out the money.
oh, like, we need these red priests. And Varys is like, I hate these fucking magicians. Like, get these motherfuckers out of here. And he's like, yeah, we need to kind of use them to get this done. He was being, I think it's called being a pragmatist. Am I using the correct word there?
Yeah.
Which, in the moment, it needed to be done so that shit could be held
what
off.
other choice did he have?
Yeah, right? So, like, we gotta respect him for that, but also, like, it's kind of why I hate most fucking politicians. Like, what do you actually do? And at least Daenerys is like, hello, I'm here now to fix things with fire.
She's gonna burn it down and build it back up.
So after that happens, I think they have this like basically they're being attacked, and then like they're supposed to have the meetup with the Masters basically, and it's like Daenerys' squad and the Masters are like one-on-one. They're talking, Masters are talking all this shit. Daenerys is like, no, you guys are gonna come beg to me, and basically as soon as that shit happens, she jumps on the fucking dragon. The dragons.
The other dragons get loose.
Yeah, the dragons get loose.
That was such a fucking badass
and this
sequence, man.
this is episode is Battle of the Bastards, by the way. This
And
is right
you
before
never
Battle
would
of the
have
Bastards.
expected. Like, I thought it was
Yeah,
just gonna be the battle.
You
and
didn't
they showed
expect
this
that shit. So like this is all happening. You know what I mean? It turns Dragon's Bay eventually ends up happening. She takes out everybody else.
Dragons.
They
Yeah.
finally get unleashed.
Yeah.
It does.
We didn't mention that they were still in the
Yeah.
cells.
Oh, the
Oh
scene-
yeah,
the
oh
scene
yeah.
where they,
Tyrion,
fly out
Tyrion
of
lets
it.
them
Yeah.
go.
Tyrion and,
Remember that scene? Tyrion let them go. He was like,
Yeah,
really
he got
scared.
trained
Happened
them.
this
Yeah.
season, though.
So
Which, by the way, we gotta talk about that. Can we talk about that scene too? But look at,
Yeah.
keep going.
yeah, so basically, dude, the dragons fly out, man, and she gets in, she fucking takes down everybody. And then as this massacre is happening, you see, they're still, head like the masters right there and the soldiers. Basically, I don't know who it was. Somebody says, you guys have the choice to either follow your masters or be free or be dead or whatever the fuck. And like the masters, guards basically leaving, it's like the masters are left. And then they basically are like, okay, you guys can choose one of you guys to for us to execute, and the two will go back, and you guys will follow our reign.
Damn.
And then those two idiots, they were like, this guy, he's lowerboard, kill him first. And they were like,
Yeah.
okay, kill the other two and let that one live.
Yeah.
And he basically talks about, hey, remember what you guys saw here? Remember what happened?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go back.
It was
He
really.
did
That-
the backseat.
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
like
well
the.
done.
Because he did exactly what idiots. They were like, yeah, he's lowborn, kill him.
Yeah.
And that was the guy that had captured Jorah and Tyrion in season 5.
It was,
Yeah.
it was well done. It was a
So
really
like,
good sequence.
so basically, kills them. You know what I mean? And yeah, she just kills it. She has the Dothrak army. Oh yeah, she unleashes the Dothrak army. My bad. I'm sorry.
He's talking a lot.
I'm sorry. I forget, bro. They released the Dothrak army.
Ehal, bintirna hano kay sendo trakoi. Ala jigesimai, mavijazeri atinarmai. Bosman ha boskal. Nana bobokak sendo trakoi. Hanna och jag igen. Anna kavak sanali erua ei haleon. Rei haparesere omai. Hasheri hrize vitov jovi haveshi vikasgar. Hasheri antodre drivitos gejani ma hoge gron shikiti mori. Najin bohari o kwenigin mori. Hasheri vajira hashi sandali. Vinajo Michal drogo asas koime asati. Shira giviti hira sevason.
Dothraki.
Yes.
Dothraki army.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Led by Daria. That was cool.
Oh, I was gonna say her necklace was fucking dope. That dragon necklace. You remember her?
Yeah, she had that. She had that since season 5.
While we're okay. Well, anyways, while we're on.
No, like, can I real quick?
Yeah.
So also in Battle of the Bastards, that was when Yara came. So like it was another packed like thing. Just a lot of awesome shit in that one episode. So she must have seen the whole Bay of Dragons shit go down when they were rapping. So I'm like, holy fuck. But, there was also a very forgettable speech that Daenerys gave on top of Drogon when they were marching back to Marine. I mean, it was cool. You know, I'm just saying it was forgettable.
Not her best Daenerys
wasn't
speech.
the best Emilia Clarke speech. And then yes, sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say while we're talking about Emilia Clarke, I just want to give her like mad fucking props because I didn't know this, but she actually had surgery twice. She suffered from brain aneurysms and
blood in her brain.
Yeah, brain aneurysms, and she had surgery twice for that while filming, while learning like Dothraki and shit. Like she's a fucking badass.
She's a queen, bro.
She's a fucking
badass, bro.
Fucking queen. Yeah. The last thing that happened to Marine that's really, really important to remember is that she left Daria behind to take care of Marine and have him in charge.
On Tyrion's advice.
Yep, because Tyrion kind of wants a piece of that too. Because he doesn't.
She made Tyrion her hand.
Yeah.
Very good.
And when was the last time a Lannister was hand to a Targaryen?
When Tywin.
Both of their fathers.
Dads.
Dude, I loved Tyrion's like redemptive arc when he like left after everything that happened after King's Landing. Like it was just awesome.
Is there anything else for us to discuss before
I
we
think
go
he's
to
my favorite character.
Down to ultra politics. I think.
Real quick, just the very end. Daenerys is finally sailing to Westeros. That was a big moment. And they had like the Tyrell banners there, and they had like Dorne banners and the Greyjoy. Was like,
it's finally with a squad.
Dothraki are seasick as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get seasick so easily.
The next thing we talk about is the Red Keep. What happens at King's Landing?
Tom is manipulated by everybody.
Cersei blows up a sept full of people.
Oh yeah. Jaime shows up with Marcella's dead body, and Cersei's like, "That's not what I expected."
Yep.
She's kind of a little salty about that.
Oh, she talks about the line, about like her beautiful face caving in and all that good shit. It's very, very fucking sad.
They talk about the witch. And she tells Jaime about the prophecy from the witch.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the thing that you should have told Jaime earlier because he's the father of all these kids.
I would have told them
You should know that they all have the potential of dying.
This is during the time when the High Sept is like basically in charge of everything.
Yeah, man.
She's been like, basically Cersei's been put in a corner. I think like Uncle Cavan is running shit. Grandmaster Pycelle.
Cavan.
Fucking what's his name again? Tyrell, the old Tyrell, Lord Tyrell.
Mace Tyrell.
Yeah, who just sucks as everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
horrible.
The stupid singing.
The High Sparrow is systematically changing everything.
Yeah.
Like anything, any card that Cersei could pull, like they were like, oh, by the way, it's illegal to do trial by combat.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And that's her biggest.
We're not doing that anymore.
The mountain was her biggest fucking strong card, and like we used your son to take that away from you.
Because we finally see, Zombie Mountain has been up and about, but like one of my favorite deaths was the one guy that was talking shit about like Cersei, and he just like
do they have the CIA? Like, where the fuck? How did she hear this conversation?
We did eat the little birds this season too.
Yeah.
So like technically that was kind of cool to see like who Varys' little birds were.
Before all that happened, bro, don't forget, like, Olenna Tyrell like was trying to get fucking Loras, like basically what they were trying to do is they were trying to have Loras not admit to any of that shit.
Yeah.
Was like trying to get Loras out as much as she can.
And he was
then,
fucking not
Oh
happy.
yeah.
He was like, get me
and
the
like
fuck out
there
of
was this whole really good scene between Olenna Tyrell and the High Sept, bro. It was a very, very awesome scene. And the next thing you know that happens is like Olenna is trying to talk to Marjorie. And Marjorie's like, no, I believe in the High Septon, I believe in everything. But then she like hands
her a note.
Hands her a note.
It's a rose.
It's a rose. So she's like still on the side of that. And then also, that is when I think Cersei meets with Olenna Tyrell and talks to them and was like, okay, we need to band together. This is not good. The High Sept is like, it's like they're
running shit, dude. Because Tommen is just like,
if you talk to Tommen for 10 minutes, he'll do what you want.
And basically, the High Sept is in Tommen's ear and basically he tells Tommen to stop Jaime from being part of the Kingsguard. High Sparrow, yeah. High Sparrow basically stopped Jaime from being part of the Kingsguard.
After Jaime rolled up them stairs on his bitch ass.
Yeah.
And then Tommen and fucking Marjorie walk out and they're like, everything's fine now.
And Marjorie, Natalie Dormer, is that her name?
Dormer,
I think really she made that role so much better than it could have ever been.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like,
the scene where she visits Loras in the cell and she's just like trying to be like, just hang on. Just hang on.
Yeah.
Just hang on for a little bit longer.
She was also in Tudors and like all those different like historical series.
Like Captain
this.
America.
It's so she wasn't Captain America.
She isn't Captain America.
It's just fun
She's
to
the
me
girl
she
that
always,
Captain America like flirts with, and then she
I've
kisses
never
him,
seen her in a
and then
contemporary
Peggy
role.
Carter shoots at Captain America. Peggy Carter shoots at Captain America because of Marjorie Tyrell.
Yeah.
Huh. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Got you.
Huh. But yeah, no, she's.
So yeah. What else happens?
I really want to harp on the fact that like I know Tommen is weak and that he is easily coerced, but like just Tommen is the weakest link of everybody. If Tommen is your friend or on your side, you got a weak link that can be easily exploited.
And you know what's hilarious about Tommen's rule is like right after Joffrey died, the whole conversation he had with Tywin, and he's like, "What does a good king need? Wisdom." Tommen has zero. Like absolutely.
He was like the most innocent out of all the kids, so he didn't deserve that.
It sucks for him. I don't.
And then Tywin told him that you don't have wisdom. You have to listen to those who guide you. And so all he ever did was listen, and that's it.
Well, he's like, I'm just following Grandpa.
Tywin fucked him.
I'm just doing what Grandpa told me.
After Jaime gets relieved of his duties, I think he becomes like the head of the army for the Lannisters, and then he gets sent to River Run to go after the Blackfish.
Let the Blackfish run in, and he meets Brienne again, and they kind of wave at each other.
Like that whole thing happened. We said Edmure was alive. Remember?
I'll be right back.
Yeah, and the way that whole thing worked out was basically there was a whole scene between Jaime and Lord Edmure, and basically Jaime was like, "I'm gonna go back to Cersei no matter what." So he made this the easy or the hard way.
Yeah.
And basically Lord Edmure came in and ordered his people to like go in and let the whole army in. The Blackfish.
How shitty would that be if you were the Blackfish just holding it down and this motherfucker comes in and is just like, "All right, we're giving up." What?
I also don't get how they would just like listen to him. He got captured. His power is literally non-existent.
For the sake of
and
patience.
just because he's a higher lord, you're just gonna listen to him.
I
mean, he tells you,
"Fuck no."
That's how it worked back.
Bring
me a
and then we also saw asshole Frey talk to what do you call it again, Jaime Lannister, and was like,
where he was just like,
basically just
And then little Arya over there.
It was like
storyline was so inconsequential that we didn't even mention her until now.
Fucking blind Arya
was right there. Knowing her new faceless skill. We'll talk about her. We'll talk about her.
Whatever, she was badass.
Basically, well, I mean, we talk about her now, bro, because right after that shit happens, you know what I mean? He's sitting by himself, and he's like, "Oh, you're a new one," and
my name is Arya Stark. I want you to know that. The last thing you're ever going to see is a Stark smiling down at you as you die.
you know, fucking what's
Like,
the phrase? Arya
it was a
comes
very
in.
gruesome.
It was so well
Yes.
done, bro. So well done.
once again a good one. But I kind of felt like with just him being like, "Remember all the shitty things we did? Remember how terrible I am? Everybody hates me." And Jaime's like, "I fucking hate you. I'm leaving." And then like finally Arya was like, "Hey, I heard what you said."
And while Jaime was there is when the set blows up.
Oh yeah. Did he meet with Brienne? Did he have a conversation with
Yeah, he had a smaller conversation with Brienne.
She tried to give him the sword back, right?
Yeah, and he wouldn't take it back.
That was
talk about
so fucking that whole sequence, like the whole time you could just feel
they should listen to Marjorie.
Light of the Seven.
Only Marjorie.
Should have listened to Marjorie.
Dude, it was so. I love that whole sequence because how they're cutting back and forth. Like, who was down below? It was Lancel.
Lancel, yeah, he gets stabbed by one of the little birds.
And he's just crawling, and the candles going down.
Goes down like a bitch.
And then you're cutting back to Marjorie being like, "Yo, the two people that need to be here are not fucking here."
Right. What does that tell you?
We need to go.
So before that whole scene, a couple hours before, dude, and this is when basically Cersei finds out it's like she can't be trial by combat, and then she looks over to
she's like, all right, well,
Qyburn and goes, have your little birds found whatever? Blah, blah. She's like, yes, they have, and that's like when they found out that thing was at the bottom of whatever.
Can I say something when you're done?
Grandmaster Pycelle.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say next. Yeah. So Grandmaster Pycelle, bro, he like gets
What was the reason of killing Pycelle?
Because he sucks.
He sucks, bro.
He had it coming. He's pissed off 20 people.
And it was more of like Qyburn, just like fuck this asshole. Because then he brings him in there and he goes, sometimes you gotta be in with the new one. Out with the new one, in with the whatever the fuck. And then the little fuckers just start.
It was perfect to have like the kids do it.
Because he's been like fucking kids his whole entire fucking like whatever, bro. He's just been the worst shit ever. So it just felt so righteous.
That sequence with the Sept reminds me of what this guy says. He says, you can have a movie happen where there's a bomb under the table and then boom, the bomb blows up and everyone's like, oh my God, a bomb. But he was like, if you show the bomb. Yeah, and he's like, king of suspense right here. He was like, but if you show the bomb and you show the timer and then like you show how it relate, where everybody's in relationships to the bomb. Yeah. And that's exactly what they did. They were like, hey, the Sept is a fucking nuke. And then they're like, everyone's inside of that nuke. And then like it just cuts in between everybody. And just... With Marjorie being like...
When she's getting ready and shit in the morning and like all the little subtle things. Ramanjwadi, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's called Light of the Seven. That's the first time that song came out.
It's almost like watching the High Sept scene almost makes the Battle of Blackwater like the setup for it. Because you know the devastation that's about to fucking happen. Dude, and when it happens like that whole like the church bell that bounces off the wall just crushes a dude. Oh my God!
Like, she's like dressing for war, but also for a funeral, and like she's like taking her time and shit. And music's playing, and Tommy's like, "I'm gonna go down to the side, and do my thing," and then just I love like Marjorie's logic too, like the way she flows with it. She's just like,
Cersei understands the consequences of her absence, and she is absent anyway, which means she does not intend to suffer those consequences. The trial can wait. We all need to leave.
It's time to fuck get out of here.
They just like block the door. They're like,
no one can leave.
Is Kevin Lannister dead too?
They all died. Everybody was in the Sept. Everybody was in the Sept.
Everybody. Mom and dad. Everybody. The Tyrell family.
He took out everybody was in there, man, and they took it out.
Olenna's not there.
She dies.
But yeah,
you know what'd be that'd be so funny. If we had kids on like the roster and we just had like a little blonde girl be like, everybody want to come to my Sept party, and all the other kids like,
after that shit happens or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? It all happens. Obviously, fucking Tommen sees that shit and it's just like a 1, 2, 3 kapos. You know what I mean? He had a King's Landing.
Dude, that candle just like burning, just
God.
Oh God, the tension of that scene.
That when he walked out was literally the first time he did something on his own.
Yep. Yeah. The first decision that he solidly made on his own.
He didn't look back. It was so sad. And that fucking hurt.
I mean, just the way he felt too. I mean, it's just like he didn't even brace anything. There was no fear in it.
No,
it was just like
just like a complete resignation.
That's
like
when
he was already dead.
That's when you know you're just like literally over
rage
life
quit.
itself.
And
God.
I think after that scene, there was a scene where Cersei has that nun that like tortured her, basically had her on the whatever, and and she's like
leaves her with the mountain.
Basically, she was like, yes, I'm ready to die. She's like, you think you're gonna die today? Ha ha ha! Starts laughing. You're not gonna die today. And he goes, I want you to meet somebody, and she brings him the fucking hound.
Doesn't she tell her the story of what the mountain did to like Elia?
Yeah, Elia Martell.
Yeah, she tells like that. What she pretty much what?
There we go. Why is there a hole in the wall?
From slamming the door open. Ignore the hole.
Say
the thing.
But yeah, she tells the stories like just reinforces, that comes back just like what he's capable
Which is
of as a person, but now he's a zombie. So like that's the thing when he comes back to life, like is he still in there or is he just like
is the Night King gonna be able to get a hold of that man?
Man, I forgot.
Night King's calling. I am unavailable.
Double zombie.
So, but like that part really freaked me out too, because I think she did mention the rape, or at least it was on everybody else's mind. And it's like, he's a fucking zombie. Like, what the fuck are you even suggesting? So you're like the level of human torture that your mind is on right now is one of a fucking baked potato. Like you're on a whole nother fucking level.
I forgot she did that because I remember in jumping season 7, she did that with fucking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and
Cersei's mean.
Yeah,
her message is
she does the poison, and she's like, "You're gonna watch your daughter rot."
Both that septum there with the
probably
and the sand snake daughter.
Yeah, that's the same.
I think that there is the vigilante justice that you're supposed to dial out.
She was yelling shame when she was pouring fucking wine down her face. Like shame.
There's like a certain amount of vigilante justice we expect in the Game of Thrones universe, but then like Cersei takes it to another level, but then also takes it past that. Like even if you like Cersei as a character, you have to admit that she is fucked up. No human being should ever be treated the way that she treats anybody.
I know this is next scene, but what she just said Arya is saying is really fucked up.
Yeah, man, yeah.
That's like she lays awake at night, getting filthy wet to how she's gonna super murder everybody. I said it.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
No one does.
I think that's it. I think after that, what happens is you walk in on Jaime. Jaime walks in on Qyburn, crowning her. Either they see Tommen, or I think that happens later on maybe. But I think the next part is that's how the whole Red, King's Landing.
And that's what she gets for dressing up for a funeral. She got the funeral she fucking didn't know she wanted.
I think the only thing we didn't talk about was
Arya. Arya at the House of Black and White finds out that the faceless men are the people that founded Bravos.
She got
unblinded, learns how to fight even more, starts keeping up with the waif. It's super dope.
Killed Marquetta.
And then she gets a bunch of stabbings.
What happens is...
the plague.
Yeah, what happens is...
Lady Crane.
No, yeah, she was supposed to kill Lady Crane, but she doesn't because Lady Crane is so awesome, and because of that, that's when the waif goes after her.
Yeah.
But then
and luckily because...
Lady Crane was portraying Cersei, so maybe Arya...
Cersei will die from a chair?
Maybe Arya will have feelings of sentiment towards Cersei.
No, hell no.
Maybe.
Arya's gonna...
She's on the list!
Yeah.
She's on the list!
What color are Cersei's
I mean, wouldn't it make sense for Arya to not be...
Why do I know this
killer?
No.
Wouldn't it be good for her to not be this way?
No.
She has a list for a reason. She's not just gonna kill
Arya's
somebody
about to kill some White Walkers.
She remembers how it felt when her friends got killed.
She's a vigilante.
The Red Woman prophesies that she's got little finger out. You gotta. I'm gonna pay attention to eye color.
But then, her character.
She's Rorschach.
Bad then, right? That's a bad.
No.
Green.
No. Her character is literally being a vigilante. That we need to have a conversation about if vigilantes are good or bad. But the revenge that she's enacting is revenge for the loss of her entire family. I can't fault her for that.
Yeah.
She is still getting revenge for the Red Wedding, which, if you remember how we felt during the Red Wedding, had that shit coming. Yeah, maybe she needs to stop getting revenge at some point in time. Once everybody's dead, she's still killing people.
She brings up her list in the next season. Her list
to Sansa.
Bro. She brings
the only person I feel like she'll have a change of heart about is if she hasn't seen that. Yeah,
she's not gonna kill her. If she killed the Hound, then
she already has the Hound again.
Technically, she already fucked him up, so it's off.
Yeah, she's already done with the Hound. Is not on her list anymore. I think she's taking him off that list.
Everything that happened to Arya in season 6 is what makes her season 7. What makes her talk to Sansa the way she talks to her and everything.
She hasn't seen him yet.
But Hound knows that she's.
Everything that happened to Arya in season 6 is what makes Arya so cool in season 7. Is why she stands up to Sansa, the way she stands up, talks to her, and everything.
Her storyline could have been handled better. It was a
season 5 and 6.
It was a slow burn.
I will be honest. Season 6, her storyline was a very, very hard to follow. It was a very big slow burn. It really, really was. It didn't really get good till I feel like towards the end of the season, when fucking
it's a little weird though because she gets stabbed a shit ton and runs around the city, right?
And then she falls into dirty canal water.
Yeah, and then poof, she's at the Twins.
And then she fights.
Yeah, dude, at the Twins, she gets fucking needle at the Twins and out of there. I'm like, damn.
And I get all the fast travel shit. We kind of got it.
The one thing I love the most is that when she comes back, she is taking on the full Ned Stark outfit.
What does Jack and the guard do? Because doesn't she tell Jack? Doesn't she have one more conversation with Jack?
She's basically I quit.
After they're upset because they told her to kill
Lady Crane,
and they're like, death doesn't choose. the death comes for good or the bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is your task and you have to do it. And she doesn't, and like realizes that she doesn't want to be no one. She wants to continue to be Arya Stark, and that's why she goes to get her stuff.
Yeah,
And-
she finds her identity again.
Yeah.
And then she's just like
And then
bopping around the streets.
That's when they're like, okay, well, we trained her for no reason, and now she knows what we do, so she needs to go.
Yeah.
So she's almost dead, but then she survives because of the lady that she didn't kill. Because
because of her
takes
learning how to fight blind,
she
which she
takes her in,
utilizes.
oh yeah, but then they have this like this final chase.
After she
kills
gets
off-
stabbed, that's right. The
she
lady
kills
takes
off
care of her.
Wave, and then
Lady
finally,
Crane dies, and
finally
then-
she meets
And then
Jaqen.
she adds the wave's face to the
Yeah.
to
She's
the
like,
wall faces.
here's a face.
That's right.
And I'm out.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, all right, whatever. Because really, if you think about the way he's been treating her, he's like, you broke the rules, don't do it again. You broke the rules and take your eyesight. You broke the rules, I'll leave, I guess.
No.
A girl is Arya Stark of Winterfell. And I'm going home.
Like, Jackie and Nagar, like, truly, I don't know what they're running at the House of Black and White, but he does not give a fuck.
What the fuck are you guys running? I don't get it.
That's the only one. That's the only one like grievance I had with the show, seasons 5 and 6. Is because they spent so much time with Arya and they didn't explain anything about the House of Black and White and how they work.
Yeah, or Bravos. I think I said that in the last one.
Bravos.
Like, once again, they spent a shit ton of time there, and it's like,
Yeah.
but how does it work?
It was very repetitive and didn't have to be.
I got some clams.
I think maybe it was just like trying to just show, hey, magic exists in this world. Here's another form of magic.
We're well deep in that. I saw a vagina demon.
I saw White Walkers.
Oh, also, it was really cool when
And
Arya
Brad Walk.
was at Bravos, like her to watch them do the plays on what's happening in Westeros.
Yeah.
Because it's like a very good like.
It was a little Ember Island
Yeah.
player.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Was there any Iron Bank in this season?
A little bit.
No, that was last season.
That's
where
next season.
Mace Tyrell's
I don't
there with
remember.
Marin Trent
Yeah,
gets the
yeah,
old
yeah,
stabby
yeah.
stab.
Anything
Is that
else?
it?
That is
all.
Wait a minute,
hold on.
Hey, the best scene in the show was when
Young
The end credits?
Liana's holding the baby.
Oh, that's it.
And like it zooms in on the baby and it like shows John. And it's like.
Oh yeah, the King of the North. Yeah, that all happened here, bro. The King of the North. Yeah. Okay. The one thing we forgot to talk about that scene that I really appreciate it. Why John is the fucking shit. So like everybody, John was like said that no, we're not going to take away the Umbars from the Karstark's family house. They're going to keep their family house name. Because like Sansa was all about ripping their house apart, giving it to whatever. It was like, no, we're
Salting
not.
the earth.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that at all. We're gonna. They've been our whatever just because they had a bunch of relatives that were really bad. We're not gonna punish the whole family for that. And then John brought up the 2 kids. They were like young kids in there, and John was like, you know, do you the Karstark, do you the Umbars pledge fealty to the Lord, the House Stark for the rest of your lives? And they all said, I do. And it was such a beautiful
What
scene.
choice do they have?
Because,
It's like,
because he
yes.
sat there and he said everybody was against him, and he was like, no, listen to me.
Wasn't that season 1?
I think that was,
wasn't that season 7?
The North remembers. We know no king, but the king in the North whose name is Stark. I don't care if he's a bastard. Ned Stark's blood runs through his veins. He's my king, from this day until his last day.
Jon Snow avenged the Red Wedding. He is the White Wolf. The king in the North. The king in the North! The king in the North!
Well, anyway.
Wait, hey, I know we kind of just glossed over this. I wish we would have talked about it a little bit more, but I just want to mad props to young Hodor. Fucking Hodor.
Why do we keep talking about
Do the
Hodor?
joke.
Why do we keep
Do
talking
the
about
joke.
Hodor? Stop it.
Hodor.
The other day. Stop. I'm done.
Bye, y'all.
That's terrible. I'm a terrible person.
Thanks for joining us for our Game of Thrones Season 6 recap. Please leave a like if you're enjoying our reactions. You can check out our early access episodes and uncut episodes on our Patreon. And a big shout out to Luis, Joe Max, Nasser, Marquillo, Keyboard Junkie, NYR Fan, and Philip Limons. Thanks guys, we'll see you in Season 7 recap.